Hello, welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode we are going to have another look at the Sailfish OS topic, which is in this case an app called Pollenflug, so flight of the pollen. I find it funny that pollen is the same in German and in English, but whatever. And in the end, it's an app that will give you a notion of what's going on in the end, because if you have hay fever, like I do for instance, you already know what that is going on and stuff like that, but you may not know what is going on, and maybe you want to see how it's going to develop in the further future or something. And for that, Pollenflug is a nice app which will help you to at least plan ahead and take a couple of other tissues with you, because pollen can't really be overcome. They're going to be there, and in the end you have to live with them. So at least we know what we have to hate now, if we are going to sneeze all the time or have I don't know, eye problems, whatever, swollen stuff. It's all over. I really hate it. I have it too. And this one is going to help you to determine what is going on. And I'm going to talk about a small little topic that is arising at the moment at the end of the episode too, because there is a new development going on with, in this case, Telegram. I want to talk about that, but first let's have a look at this small little app, just so you know where to get it and what it does. And in the end, as always, I'm going to use my Sony Xperia 10 Mark III here, my daily driver, and I'm going to show you everything on the big screen using my laptop, which is standing at the side here, and Screencast, which is an app for Sailfish OS in this instance here. And you can use that to bring everything to the big screen like that. If you want to know more about that, I will link a couple of videos up there. Other than that, let's have a look. First off, this of course is my smartphone. You will see everything here as I do on the big screen. Problem is it has a little bit of a delay sometimes, but in the end it should show everything that you are going to see on the small screen here too. And in the end. So first off, Pollenflug, small little app. You can get, there it is. In the end, from, I think it's on Open Web Browser or something. I'm going to show you where to get it later on. And as you already can see, it's a pretty nice and clean app where you can see everything that is going on. In the end, first off, you will have to put in some kind of a region, so he's not asking you for a specific city or whatever, or the position or whatever. You can just get it by setting up a region, and then you can, for instance, put up a couple of different pollen kinds or types which you are allergic to, and so you can see what's going on. And as you can see, okay, I have, for instance, the Birke Erle. I'm not sure what that is in English, sorry for that, but it's more or less the early blushing parts, so in the end the ones which are really at the start of the year in the end, those are pretty low at the moment, or at least not even there. But if you have any kind of hay fever, so some kind of type of grass allergies, it's pretty hard at the moment. And yeah, I really noticed that today. I really had that a little bit. It's not my hardest one. It's just one of the very low tier ones for me. But still, the amount of pollen which are in the air at the moment is that high that I even get pretty hardcore stuff going on with that. And if somebody has a really big one, they really have a problem at the moment. Anyway, as you can see, here we go. And what you should see, give me one sec here. What you can see here is that we have more or less these options up there in the drawer menu. If you go in here, you can, for instance, set up where you are, what kind of region you are in, and after that you can have a look at all the different kinds of pollen which are here in the end. Ambrosia, bifus, Robin, for instance, is not selected by me at the moment, but you could still do that, and then you're getting all the different informations you want there about all the pollen which are going on here. And in the end you can even click on that again, and if you click on one of them, you can see the card, the map of the country you selected, where you should have a couple of other information. So go to the grass ones. As you can see, hardcore parts going on here. So hoch, which means extremely high or high, is more or less in all of Germany, more or less at the moment, and that is really a pretty hardcore thing. And this is more or less what you can see here, and where you are going to get different informations about that. And of course, like that, you should be able to see, hey, okay, today it's really, really hardcore. Tomorrow it's a little bit less, and after that it's going down, so perfect, thank you. But in the end, we are going to have a small little bit of more or less forecast here, so to 6, so the 2nd of June in this case is going to be a little bit less, and hopefully it's going to be less after that, even more. Anyway, that is more or less what the app can do. I will show you where to get it. So go to your stores, more or less, go to Storeman in this case. And if you go in here, you just have to go to the search in this draw menu, put in pollen, should be enough. And here you go, there is pollen, which really is just this small little app giving you all the information. It does exactly what it should. It's a fine little one, working great. And yeah, it more or less helps you if you have any kind of hay fever. That's if you want to download it. Of course, you can find the link down below in the description box of the video, and there will be a couple of other links, but that one is there too, so have a look at that and download it if you really like it. Other than that, as mentioned before, there's one small little thing which is a pretty big one in the end. I will just switch over and show you what's going on. It's a little bit hard to find in English-speaking media, if you ask me. I don't know why. In the German-speaking media it was in the highest tiers and everywhere. But in the English-speaking one I found one by BBC, but for instance the American ones are pretty low tier on that. I'm not sure if it's happening, if it's just something that is going on in our bubble here or whatever it's going on, I don't know. But as mentioned before, Telegram announces partnership with Musk. So this one is pretty important for many people here, because of course we are using Sailfish OS, for instance, for being private in many cases. And this is more or less killing all that if you are using, for instance, Fernschreiber or one of the other clients for Telegram, because Musk, you all know about him. I'm pretty sure that most people don't like him, and for good reasons in the end, especially with the stuff that is going on at the moment with his drug abuse and whatever is going on there. So he isn't most popular, let's say it like that, and deserved, if you ask me. It doesn't matter. Anyway, as you can see, they are partnering with Telegram, which is one of the more prominent messengers on Sailfish OS, of course. So if we go down here, we can see that they are trying to develop something with the AI tools of Musk, so the xAI, whatever. He names everything X, I don't know why. Who knows what he's thinking? I don't. Anyway, in the end, Pavel Durov, which is one of the Telegram more or less decision makers and one of the persons who are more or less running that Telegram company, announced that there will be a pretty high level, high tier deal, more or less, which is going to bring xAI to Telegram, which I really highly disagree with. You shouldn't do that, because Telegram, of course, is meant to be used in a private manner and not with some kind of AI involved, which is going to bring everything out, and especially not the one by Musk, which is even worse, because Musk, of course, is a very questionable figure. And in the end, it's going to be 300 millions, or billions, millions, I think millions, of dollars in the end we are going to talk about here, and like that they would integrate the xAI to that one. We don't know to what extent, so is it just another chatbot, which would be probably okay, but we can't really be sure about that, because what I suspect it to do is it's going to learn from all the different things you're putting onto Telegram. And Telegram, of course, is one of the messengers where people go when, for instance, WhatsApp or whatever is not what they like to use. They can't use, for instance, third person or third party WhatsApp clients and stuff like that. So they got over to Telegram to use those. And because Telegram, of course, has one of the libraries there, which is a very prominent one, which can be used for any kind of other apps and stuff like that. And yeah, if that is happening, and that is going to be forced on the users, more or less, so you will have to do it. And in the end, if this is integrated, I doubt that they are not going to use all the data they can get there for the AI models. And if they do so, pretty bad things can happen with these kind of information they are getting there. So I highly suspect that you should no longer trust Telegram if they are doing this. There are a couple of other messages floating around where, for instance, one of them said that Musk denied this deal. I'm not sure about that, and in the end I trust Musk much less than I trust Durov, for instance. Anyway, both are a little bit questionable, and in the end, if you really have to use Telegram, you will not come around that. Use one of the third-party Telegram clients at least, so that at least what you are sending is not that easy to be recognized with you itself. Like on the official app, they're using Google Analytics and stuff like that. So don't use that one. At least use Fernschreiber if you really need to. Or even better, I would highly, more or less. Here's another one where in German, in one of the biggest newsletters, so it's much more intermediate for us. Anyway, if you really have to use one of the better parts here, so one of the best messaging apps I can recommend at the moment is Threema Libre. Threema is a company that is in Switzerland, so Europe-based, and all their technology to, for instance, encrypt, decrypt and stuff like that is going to be or is audited all the time. So there's a security audit with it, and it's open source. At least some of the stuff that is going on is open source. It's not all. I think the client itself is open source, but the server side is not. Anyway, it's security audited. It seems to be one of the most secure ones available. So Signal and Threema are at the same level. Signal has a problem because it's based in the US. So the US, of course, they can be forced to, for instance, bring out all the data to the NSA or other governmental institutions. And for Threema, that is not the case because they are in Switzerland. In Switzerland, there are strong data protection mechanisms active, and as in the DSGVO, which means GPDR, I think it's named in English. I always have struggled with that part. It's a general data protection law in Europe, and that one is really running in Europe. It's one of the best apps you can have for more or less privacy-focused communication, and it's a very nice app. It works, for instance, with F-Droid, as you can see. So download it with F-Droid, and there's at the moment no native client for Sailfish OS, which is a bummer. We are working on that, or we talked about that in the German Telegram group before. Maybe there's going to be happening something, but at the moment we don't know. And as you can see, you can have a look at the open source data of this client. If you are a developer or something, please create one of the apps there. Would be great if there would be a native one for Threema. But in the end, this is a very good messenger. The only small little problem, and I don't think it's even a problem because it's something that is going to help you with your privacy. But the only problem is that you will have to pay, I think it's $6 or something, one-time payment. The license will be available forever, so you can use it all the time. It's a permanent one. You can even switch devices and stuff like that in between, as long as you have this license key, which you even can request from them by going to the website, and there is an online form where you can really request them. It's going to be your email address that has to be registered there, and then you are going to be able to get an email sent to you years after that. I already have a streamer for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 7 years or something in that direction, and just recently we covered one of the license keys there, and they just sent you over to the email address you registered with them, like a password reset or something, the licenses, and you can use them on any kind of device you want to afterwards too, no problem. Even when I, for instance, switched from Windows 10 Mobile to my Sailfish OS one, it worked flawlessly, no questions asked, nothing going on there. Really, really nice little experience there. And like that, I think it's highly, highly worth the money you're paying to it. Especially, think about it that way. If they would make money in another way, it would be selling your data. And they are not, because they can more or less do it by you buying this license sometime, and then they have the funds to develop Streamer further. And it's still in active development. It's a nice little app, pretty common, at least in German-speaking countries and Europe. I'm not sure how common it is in other parts of the world, but in Europe, for instance, it's pretty common, at more or less the same level as Signal. And so you really should have a look at this, and yeah, download it right away if you don't want to use if you don't want to use Telegram in future because of this deal with Musk, which I can fully understand, and I really suggest you to switch over to Streamer for this kind of reason. Yeah. And other than that, I think we are more or less through with this episode. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I hope you had a great time watching this. Hopefully it gave you a couple of new informations. Of course, all the different things I showed you here are going to be down in the description box of the video, so you can look at them yourself. And other than that, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't subscribe to the channel till now, do it now. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, see you around, and bye.